Where do we begin with the Indiana Fever and their second preseason game? Is the sky falling? Actually, it was the Wings. Don't get confused. That being said, the answer is no. And a little bit of yes. We are not in panic mode, but there are some real concerns that I want to run through, and also some bright spots we got to talk about as well. It is all not all doom and gloom, but there are definitely some issues with this team. And like I said in the first game, oh, it's just preseason. I get that. There are also still things you can look at that say, hey, this could be a problem in the regular season. Second preseason game, folks, worst than the first. Worst than the I say I wanted to rhyme. It's actually worse than the first. And by the way, there's only one preseason game left. They don't play a whole lot of them, so it's not like we're easing into this thing. We've got 4 or 5 more preseason games. No, quickly, opening day is coming, and the Fever have a lot of things they need to fix, some of which I'm not sure that they can. Let's get into this. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. Appreciate all your support. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Of course, shout out to the 19. Quick favor, you know the drill if you've been here before. Take a second, smash, tap, click, whatever it is you need to do to that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you're still subscribed if you have been. Notification bell, hype on mobile. Let's get into this. What is the bright spot? Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark. Definitely Caitlin Clark. Um, Yeah, that was the bright spot. That was the bright spot for the game last night. It was Caitlin Clark and a whole lot of crap in the bed. Yeah. Oh, to be fair, Raven Johnson was solid again, and Michaela Timpson showed glimpses. So, but I mean, let's check this out. Just to be fair, the defense was terrible, right? Stephanie White's expertise, right? Her area of expertise, defense was terrible. Gave up 95 points, gave up a 36-point second quarter, 61 first half points. The Dallas Wings shot 51% from the field, and 23 of those 70 shots they took from three. So you know what they did from two. They lit it up. I saw a whole lot of I don't know what the second chance points were for the Wings, but it was a good amount. I mean, I can think of at least 3 where they got buckets, 2 of which they got rebounds and stuck back threes. So there was a lot of that. Let me see the number here. Yeah, the rebounding, 45 to 26. 45 to 26. Let me explain something to you. You are not contending for a championship when you get out rebounded 45 to 26. That may be one of those things you don't fix. Now, I know a lot of people say, hey, well, Aaliyah Boston didn't play. Sure, I get it. Is that 45 to 26, Aaliyah Boston going to make that much difference? Is she? She'll grab her share, no doubt. But I mean, her career average, she's what each season, it's right there around that 8 number. She going to make that much of a difference? This team has a lot of issues in how the roster was constructed. But before we get into that, we'll come back to this. But we got to talk about Caitlin Clark because Caitlin Clark was absolutely phenomenal, which also brings us back to some of the concerns with Stephanie White and how it's coaching. Because we had this. This is just for fun because this was, I think, her first bucket. So we're just going to share this because, yeah, look who she torched. Get her, Paige. Get her. Oh, no, look, you're just blowing right by her. See, this is one of the things I hate to be mean, but getting on the women, they do this a lot. There's a lack of, and a lot of it is core and back strength, believe it or not being able to get into a proper defensive position and hold it. So too quickly, they go from sliding to standing up, crossing the legs, and then running side by the player, and they just can't do it. It just can't do it because otherwise you're going to end up fouling. But yeah, so then that was our first bucket of the game, and we had this first quarter. 14 points, 2 assists. By the way, she should have had a million assists last night. That goes back to another one of the problems. Fever can't make layups. 14 points in the first quarter. Her total shooting percentage, 103.6%. Absolutely insane it ended up being a first half. I think she finished 21 points. The first half, though, she had 19 points. Only grabbed the rebound. A couple assists. Again, should have had a lot more. A steal, 2 3-pointers. Only played 14 minutes, and yet they were down 61-46. Why is that? And I know a lot of people are they'll jump on this and be like, "Oh man, see when Caitlin Clark goes off, the team loses." The only time, if we go back, the only time this team was winning, they were won the first quarter 29-25. Caitlin had 14 points in the first quarter. What happened after that? Well, it all fell apart and they never got back the momentum when they took the ball out of Caitlin Clark's hands, right? I can think of 2 or 3 plays down after this incredible start by Caitlin Clark. 2 or 3 plays, trips down in a row where they put Caitlin off the ball. Literally, one time she ran to the very corner of the court and stood there like that. It was basically, "Hey, take a break, take a breather. We're going to play 4v5." They turned the ball over a couple times. Wings got buckets. Boom, we went from the Fever in control of the game to a degree to a 13-2 Dallas run that kept getting bigger, and it was a snowball downhill from there. Fever never recovered. They never recovered from putting Caitlin Clark off the ball. It completely destroyed everything. They lost all rhythm. The defense fell apart. People weren't getting back in transition. It was an absolute, total, and complete disaster, all coming from taking Caitlin Clark off the ball. Are we learning anything yet, Stephanie White? Are you going to continue to diminish Caitlin Clark? Are you going to continue to run a crappy offense? You sure as hell don't know what you're doing on defense. That is clear because this entire team looked absolutely lost on the defensive end. Lost on the defensive end, lost on the offensive end. Kelsey Mitchell, 0 for 8 from 3-point range. And by the way, her 3-pointers, a lot more open than the ones Caitlin Clark gets to take because this offense does nothing to generate open looks for Caitlin Clark, as Stephanie White herself continues to admit to that she can't do. She's incapable of it. She has no idea. She is lost. Oh, we've got to get, I've been here for over a year, but you know what? We've got to learn how to get Caitlin Clark some looks. Are you kidding me right now? This is a disgrace. This is a disgrace the way this team is played. And a lot of it is on the front office and the coach. I'm not here to just completely throw players under the bus. Look, Monique Billings was not good last night. I like Monique Billings. Y'all know it, but I've also said this. What have I said about Monique Billings? Yes, Caitlin Clark will raise her game, but she's not a starter. She's never been a starter. She's been a great player off of the bench. And now we're making her a starter at number 4, and we're supposed to be contending for a title. Oh, by the way, when we say Aaliyah Boston not playing because she's injured, why did this team? We had an off season of the entire league being free agents, and the Indiana Fever thought, you know what? We're not going to go get a starting power forward. We're going to put a backup power forward in that spot. We're not going to go get a backup center for our all WNBA center who, by the way, has an injury and also gets in foul trouble all the time. No, we're not going to get a starting power forward. We're not going to get a backup center. But hey, you know what we are going to do? Even though we have 2 all WNBA guards who start for us, the shooting guard and the point guard, we're going to go get 71 freaking guards who all play the same kind of game. That's what we're going to do because we're freaking brilliant. We know what we're doing. We're going to get 87 guards. We can't rebound for shit. We have no backup center. We have no starting power forward. We got Lexi Hall and Sophie Cunningham who play the same position. We've got a backup guard, the one that's probably going to get most of the time, who can't shoot. So you're going to make her the point guard, which means what? You're going to do, let's go back, rewind, take the ball out of Caitlin Clark's hand and watch everything fall apart. And again, Raven Johnson played well last night, okay? I'm not taking that away. We're talking about fit. We're talking about a front office that doesn't have any idea what the hell it is doing, a front office that didn't know how to construct a roster, a coach that doesn't know how to use the roster, teammates that can't make layups. Should I go on? Now, that being said, the team's got a whole lot of talent. That's what I want to put when I say the sky is falling, but it's not. All those things I just said are true. That being said, this team has a lot of talent, And yes, they can contend for a title. That being said, they've got to start making layups. They've got to stop taking the ball out of Caitlin Clark's hands. They've got to figure out how to get Caitlin Clark open looks. They've got to be better defensively. All things that I think can happen. I do wonder if maybe a roster move or two is not necessary. Can Monique Billings meet the moment? I hope so. I'm rooting for her. I think it's there. But again, when you step back and look at it and look at her career, they did sign a backup, a good backup, but they signed a backup to be the starting power forward. Okay. And they didn't bother signing a backup center. We have no backup center at all on the roster. Damaris Dantas is not a center. Michaela Timpson is not a center. By the way, Michaela Timpson she may be earning her way to minutes with this team. So that's going to be interesting as well. So we may be playing games a lot where we don't have a center to get these players in. We may be going small, and I just talked about all the rebounding, but again, sometimes you got to play to your strengths, minimize your weaknesses. And this is a team that the way they're built is going to get out rebounded. Then they've got to put everything they can into their strengths, which might mean at times a lineup of Caitlin, Kelsey, Raven, maybe Sophie or Lexi at the 4 with a Boston at center, or Michaela Timpson at center because she will run, 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 or Mo Billings at center because she will run, 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 and do everything you can to diminish the rebound effect with Raven, right? With Michaela Timpson and their athleticism with Lexi Hull. Now those are players that can run offensively, that can give you things offensively, but also are nightmares defensively, right? There's a lineup where you have nightmares and they may not have the height, but if they're that good defensively, they harass teams into bad shots, they create turnovers, and they run, 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 and run some more. You negate the rebound disadvantage. You turn that into a strength with the way you play. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this is going forward. It really, really is. There was a couple other things I wanted to show just real quick. This, for example, this is Caitlin talking about the officiating, because there is one other thing I want to get into, which is a bright spot as well that has to do with Caitlin Clark.
Obviously, I thought the refs did a really good job tonight actually, and that's kind of been their focus going into this season. Is I know there's a committee of people that really wanted them to start calling things, and I thought they did a great job of that. Honestly, I thought the refs were great, and yeah, it's a preseason game, so you're probably going to see more fouls called. I would expect the number to drop. I don't know how many fouls in total were called tonight, and at times it can make the game choppy, but I think overall it's going to improve the product. Players aren't getting held, and it was both ways. I thought they did a good job both ways. So, but overall, I feel fine.
You were down, you were rubbing your knee, and then you were a little bit. Is it your knee, your ankle? What exactly was bothering you?
I just landed with my kneecap really hard.
That second quarter, you guys bled a ton.
So to that point, and I want to go back to this. Yeah, I thought the refs overall were way, way better. If we go down here, now here's both a concern and a positive. Caitlin Clark, 21 points. 21 points on 6 shots. Does anyone have any idea how insane that is? That's why our total shooting percentage was over 100. She averaged more than 3 points a shot. That's insane. 4 of 6 from the field, 2 of 3 for 3, because she was 11 for 13 from the line, and deservedly so. But here's the thing that I say is concerning. Only maybe 2 or 3 of the trips to the line were actually on Caitlin Clark getting fouled on the shots. What she did really well, and this is what I like, she talks about the officials, but a lot of it is on her too. What I saw from her was a different level of veteran savvy, of determination, where she was forcing calls to be made. And what I mean by with her free throws is she shot a lot of free throws on in the penalty fouls, right? Where it is not a shooting foul, but she's going to the free throw line because of the number of fouls that the Dallas Wings had committed in the quarter. But what she was doing a lot off the dribble is getting fouled and it not being called and then her staying on it in a way that just forced the foul to continue to happen. And the referee's like, well, crap, I got to call it now because she's been fouling her for 10 seconds, right? Like sometimes you can see let a foul, even if it's an obvious one, it happens. And now the players have separated and the ref just lets it go and people complain, but oh well. But Caitlin would get fouled and then work her way into getting fouled again and again. And it's like, well, got to call it now. So kudos to her for that. But also, this is what we should have been seeing for Caitlin's whole career. Now, 13's a little high, but maybe 6, 7, 8. Like she should be in the top 5 in free throw shot per game. And if that actually happens this season, wow, look out, WNBA. If Stephanie White can get the hell out of the way, good things will happen. Now, one problem that we still have, and this is why she was asked about the knee or the ankle, is we get crap. See, if she came up here, one of the times she did shoot free throws. Now, kudos, landing space foul was called, but it's also got, and they upgraded it to a flagrant. Now, I think, again, making a statement so we clean this crap up because Caitlin Clark's the reason they got paid. She should have been tossed because there's Caitlin Lemon. Now, I think this is where she said she fell on her kneecap. A lot of people were worried this was an ankle. But this was after, and I don't have the clip of it, but this was once again, as we get with the Indiana Fever a lot. Again, luckily this one was called, but dangerous landing space where she gets her foot right in where Caitlin Clark comes down, which is why it was upgraded to a flagrant after review. And again, I give them credit for upgrading it, but I think they should have upgraded it more and just completely tossed it and be like, hey, you know what? We're not doing this year. You're going to get into Caitlin Clark's space and you are going to find yourself in the locker room where you belong. Enough is enough. There's a reason they eventually had what was known as the Jordan rules, okay? Because Jordan was getting absolutely destroyed to where his career might have only lasted like 5 years if teams were able to continue to get away with that nonsense. So, anyway, again, sky's not falling, but definitely some real concerns with the Indiana Fever. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, appreciate you checking out the video. Smash the like button, subscribe. Shout out to the 19. Grab a t-shirt or a hoodie or a long sleeve sweat, whatever. It's a good one. The new one's a good one. You'll like it. I'll talk to you later.